So as I head out, I am taken with this question. I went to worship for the first time in a long time. And, for what that means, it's personal for me. But it's not to say I don't appreciate the principles underlying religion. I don't have an issue with. I have a love and a frustration with religion. That is my perspective. I love the foundations that religion stands on. I have a frustration with some of the biases that exist, person to person. Doesn't mean that that's what it encompasses. Anyway, I say that to say this. Friend of mine, Cooper, an acquaintance, somebody I see as a bright fellow, somebody who is a light in this world, in a way, had invited me to this sermon that he had today on campus. And his beginning part was about setting a spark. And he asked about what it takes to make the fire, to create the fire. I'm usually the person that builds the fire. And somebody who builds those fires, not in just the literal sense of like producing a fire at a camp, but like setting that spark and creating that fire in people, and my wants to connect with people and make those connections in interpersonal depths that exist between one another. He said you got to make the spark, and I agree with him to the extent of that yeah, you have to make that spark, but fire requires effort. A spark itself does not start the fire. The effort in maintaining the spark, turning that ember into kindle and igniting the kindling, the effort that it takes to be persistent in the creation of that fire, I think is foundational, is imperative. Just being a spark isn't enough. And I look at that and see it in myself, some of the efforts that I have let pass by the wayside because I have not put in the effort to push, not put in the effort to build the foundations that I wanted, because I have allowed myself to succumb to other people and allowed myself to fall back on the comforts of things that other people provide, even though, they are not and have never been on the level that I am seeking. And so, it's easy for a person to tell you that they are a part of and want to do this thing, but none of their actions promote or show that that is in fact the case. And in doing so, they hinder you and your growth, even though you continuously put that effort into trying to spark that flame for them. Some people will never grow outside of that because they've never put the effort in themselves to build that fire. I have a fire inside of me that I have worked on for so long, and I have found that in the relationships that I have had, the friends, the intimate relationships, the acquaintances, some of the people that I find myself around, my fire has been dampened. And I have had to recreate the effort and rebuild on that effort and reignite that flame and fire, because other people have tried to extinguish that fire inadvertently, whether they know it or not. So I say this: I have seen the struggle in my growth because of the relationships I have been in, the friendships that I have, the people who genuinely do not put forth the effort required to get to the point of successful action. And I realize that I need to reevaluate the friendships that I have. I need to reevaluate the relationships I am allowing into my life. I need to reevaluate how I spend my time in the efforts I am putting into, and what kind of effort I am putting into those things. Because if I don't, I succumb to everybody else's energy. And if it is not on par with me, it's easy for me to fall back into that and fall to a level that is not where I am at. I say that to say this. My silence moving forward is a testament to my efforts to get back to the level of effort I have been striving to put forth for my success. If you come across this and we know each other and you have not heard from me, I ask you to evaluate the efforts you have put into yourself and your friendship with me. If you have not heard from me in a while, don't take it personally. Sometimes I struggle with communication. That is on me, not you. But if you have been in my immediate circle as of the past year and a half, maybe 2 years, and you have not heard from me, I urge you to reevaluate your relationship with yourself and how that relationship had involved me. Because I have been doing the same with myself, and how my energy in effort that I put into other people has been. I am reflecting on the effort I have put in to other people, and not just them, but myself. And I think the more that we really genuinely evaluate those things in real time, the more understanding we have about ourselves and who we are and how we affect other people. Because if you have to ask somebody if they're mad, frustrated, saddened, if you have to ask how another person is feeling based off of actions you have created and shown, you do not know yourself, and that in itself is a disservice to the relationships at which you find yourself interacting with, because then you become the person seeking other people to help you solve your problems when all you've ever needed is you to take the time to evaluate who you are and how you and who you would like to be and how you become that person. It takes that effort in yourself and in the other people. If you're not putting in that effort, you are not living your life to the fullest, because effort is what creates fire. Spark helps. It helps with a spark. It certainly does. But effort is what inevitably turns that spark into a flame, and that flame then becomes a fire. So, if you've listened for this far, 7 minutes, almost on 8 minutes, thank you so much for listening thus far. I hope you all take the time to put in the effort in self-actualization and self-realization to better know who you are, so that you can better help explore yourself with other people and make those connections that genuinely create the foundations that launch you up into whatever stratosphere, atmosphere you seek to be in. But it starts with you. It starts with you putting the effort into yourself. It starts with you putting in the effort to give a damn about what you want. Thank you.